Lemonada.
This episode contains strong language and graphic imagery. Sensitive listeners, please be advised.
I took off from Accra, Smara, Nairobi, Kinshasa, and Cape Town, and Dakar I go. I landed in Atlanta, Bahia, and Stockholm, and London, but you make it feel like a home.
There's a custom flow, make your own.
That go that feeling I know.
There's a custom tune, make your own.
They come and follow us home.
It's the life I saw, make your own. Mind your own. It's the cat we grow, make your own. Mind your own.
I'm Lupita Nyong'o, and this is Mind Your Own. Today, we're going to find ourselves at school. You know that time when you're both trying to fit in, but also stand out? When I was young, rules were a thing I tended to test. Let me tell you how it went down. So for my final years of high school, I went to St. Mary's School, Nairobi, an all-boys school. It's 700 boys in the school and about 60 girls in the IB program. I attended that program. There were leaders. These leaders were distinguished by a black tie. The rest of the students, the girls, would wear peacock blue. So that's what we call them, black ties. Did I want to be a black tie? You know, low-key, I think I did want to be a black tie because you got your own office. I think they could use like maybe the staff bathroom or something like that. They had these privileges and they were almost above the rules, you know? They were akin to the faculty. It's the day when the black ties are being announced. Names get called, people get clapped for, they get taken away. The next day, they are in black. I mean, it was dramatic. And immediately, there's a status shift. People you used to just joke around with, now all of a sudden, they have a power over you. They can give you detention. They can make you come to school on Saturday. They can tell on you. You can get expelled because of intel that they might give away. We had our lockers in the girls' bathroom. It was a place where we congregated. It was a place for privacy. It was a place to talk about your period. You know what I mean? Things that the 700 boys out there would not understand or care for. It was our safe space. So when you walk into the locker rooms and there are black ties present, something's going on. Black ties in the locker room with the civilians, it's uneasy in there. I witness one of my classmates being called aside by one of the black ties. They're whispering in the corner. The next thing I know, the girl is crying. I'm like, what's happening here? So of course I go to inquire. So the black ties, they decided to bring up an old rule that was written when the school was attended by our white colonizers, you know. Your hair can't be longer than your shoulders. And you can't dye your hair blonde or red. Oh, no makeup either. And all these really archaic rules. I was furious about this no makeup rule. I didn't care for makeup, but there were girls that did, and they were really harassed. My two best friends wore makeup. My homegirls, my ride or dies, were now being targeted. The black ties, they were there inspecting everybody's faces before we went to class. And girls who wore makeup were crying. Why? There was so many other things going on. I remember one time I was walking up some stairs, and these boys who could not have been older than like 11 or 12, grabbed my behind and ran away. And why wasn't anyone talking about those kinds of things? Like sexual harassment that was happening on a daily basis. Why weren't we discussing that? Instead, we're discussing makeup? It just seemed really lopsided and irrelevant. I did go to like a black tie one-on-one to say, yo, like, why is this happening? And her answer had been very callous. It's a rule, and my job is to enforce the rules. So I said, oh, okay. I decided to stress test the boundaries of the rules. I had dye from my time in Mexico, and I dyed my hair blue. You could not find blue hair in Kenya at that time. I went to the salon with my hair dye. The bleaching process, I didn't bleach it all the way so my hair didn't lose all its color. And then he put the blue dye on top of it. It wasn't the cutest blue. It kind of was seaweed, like blue-green. It was not an editorial look. It was a rebellion look. And I remember the head teacher coming. He was this British guy. And he comes, he's, Lupita, your hair's blue. And I said, yes. You're in school. You can't have blue hair. And I was like, that's not what the rule book says. It says blonde or red. My hair's blue. And he was like, and off I went with my blue hair. And nobody could say anything because it wasn't that silly rule book of theirs.
Tell you guys a little bit about myself. My full name's Odinaka Ezeokoli. My parents' names are Ben and Monica.
Our next story comes from comedian Odinaka Ezeokoli.
Yo!
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good to see you.
To help him tell the story, we got him in the studio with his friend and fellow comic, Stuti Sharma, who was raised religious in Kenya.
I used to put on plays for my family. One time on Easter, we taped me to the wall to be Jesus.
With duct tape?
Yeah, with duct tape.
We wanted to have Stuti in the room while Odinaka told this one about how he went from the suburbs of Atlanta to hearing the voice of God in rural Nigeria. I hope you're listening.
So how did you end up in Nigeria? Because you were born in the U.S., right?
Yeah. Born in Atlanta, raised in Atlanta. Yeah. I used to talk about this on stage. It's I remember being 4 years old, just hearing the radio and just I'm in the living room, getting down, Bruce Springsteen, born in the USA, I was born, and I'm singing, and my dad saw that. I don't know what happened. I think he flash forwarded 20 years in the future and just imagined me sagging my pants and hitting on white women. And he was like, not to my song, I'm going to stop these right now. And he sat me down. He's like, come. Sit down. I need you to know, Stop singing. I need you to know. You are from Nigeria. You're an Igbo man, and one day you will go back to Igbo land. At 4, it was cool. It was oh, cool. I'm not American. I'm Nigerian. No, this is great. Yeah, and so every year we're gonna go to Nigeria, and we never went. And then one day, 15, I come home from school one day, and there's tickets on the table, plane tickets. And my dad's like, you guys are going.
Tickets on the table. This is a dramatic way to do it, too.
Yeah, I mean, Nigeria. Have you seen Nigerians? Everything's dramatic. Yeah, so we land at the airport in Nigeria for the first time. We're in Lagos. Get on the bus, head to the village. Me and my grandmothers were in the village for a couple months, hanging out with cousins, aunts, meeting extended family, all that good stuff. Dancing, great time, eating food, and it's just this beautiful homecoming. But then it was we had to actually go to school.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn.
Don't go anywhere. More Mind Your Own after this quick break. There's something magical about that shift from summer to fall. The crisp air, cozy evenings, and that feeling of wanting to wrap yourself in something warm and soft. One thing I'm really excited for is getting to layer up in my new favorite sweaters from Quince. Quince has these incredible Mongolian cashmere sweaters starting at just $50. They feel luxurious without the inflated price tag, and you can really feel the quality in every stitch. But it's not just cashmere. Quince has everything you need for fall. We're talking sleek leather jackets, cotton cardigans, and even super soft denim. And the best part is everything is priced 50 to 80% less than other luxury brands. So, how do they do it? Quince partners directly with the world's top factories and skips the middleman, passing those savings on to you. I cannot wait to receive my Mongolian cashmere sweater in moss green. Get cozy in Quince's high-quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/mindyourown for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/mindyourown to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/mindyourown. The holidays are right around the corner, and now is the perfect time to start thinking about gifts that are as meaningful as they are unique. Smithsonian Store offers a curated collection of high-quality products crafted by artisans from around the world, each inspired by the Smithsonian's vast collections from 21 museums, galleries, and the National Zoo. And the best part? 100% of the proceeds from your purchase at Smithsonian Store go directly to support the incredible work of the Smithsonian Institution's educational programs and exhibitions. It also helps Smithsonian continue its mission to increase and diffuse knowledge across the globe. You'll find hundreds of museum-inspired gifts at smithsonianstore.com. From stunning jewelry and home decor reflecting the artistry of the National Museum of African Art to thought-provoking books, they have something for everyone, like their Sweet Home Cafe cookbook or their Cuba Blue Go-To Tote, a hand-printed design made in Kenya. So, whether you're treating yourself to something special or starting to check off your holiday shopping list with truly one-of-a-kind gifts, feel good about how you're shopping by visiting smithsonianstore.com, where every purchase supports the Smithsonian Institution and its pursuit of knowledge and wonder. For a limited time, use our exclusive code, MindYourOwn, at checkout for 20% off any purchase at smithsonianstore.com. Spark something uncommon this holiday season with incredible hand-picked gifts from Uncommon Goods. That's right, it's never too early to think about the holiday season and how you can make it absolutely memorable for your loved ones. Uncommon Goods makes your holiday shopping stress-free by scouring the globe for original, handmade, and absolutely remarkable things for everyone on your list. They've officially found a way to tap into that "it's exactly what I wanted" feeling. Whether you're shopping for your secret Santa or your entire family, Uncommon Goods knows exactly what they want. Here's a few of my favorite gifts that I found on their site. A self-watering chili pepper planter. Such a cool gift. They also have these adorable Christmas sweaters you can personalize with a photo of someone's dog or cat. I'm definitely getting those for some people I know. Best of all, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/mindyourown. That's uncommongoods.com/mindyourown for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. Welcome back. You're listening to Mind Your Own.
Yeah, so we get there, it's the first day of class, and we're wearing the wrong uniform. Everybody wears white and green. We're wearing white and white. So automatically, we just stand out. And I sit down and I'm nervous. And whenever I'm nervous, I gotta pee. And so I walk up to leave the classroom to go pee. And as soon as I walk out the classroom, I'm like, shit, I don't know where the bathroom is. Then I was like, oh shit, this is Africa. We just pee wherever we want, right? And yeah, I was dumb American. And so I walk out the classroom to go pee. The first tree I saw, I just started peeing on this tree.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah.
A boarding school.
Yeah, boarding school. And I turn around, look and the tree that I picked is not only in front of my classroom, but the whole like 10th grade block of classrooms.
Oh no.
So I just peed in front of my whole grade.
Continue.
Like that moment, that kind of followed me some in a weird kind of way. Like people kind of knew me as like the dude that peed on the tree. That's the American kid who pees on shit. Like that was just how I got known. Boarding school in Nigeria feels like military school. You got to be here this time. Everything is super regimented. The principal, the teachers, everybody's there from 9 to 5. And then they go home. And so when they go home, 16, 17, 8-year-olds are the ones like in charge of your life. Like that's who you report to.
Wow.
They can flog you, spank you. Flog sounds better.
Yeah.
I remember this one guy, Fuji. He would just walk around with like a belt or a piece of wood he found somewhere or anything he'd find like to hit people. And he'd be coming down the hall and people were like, Fuji's coming. He'd be like running like chairs are flying everywhere. Like get out of the way because Fuji's coming. And like that was like what a lot of the older kids were like that you were like trying to avoid and just stay out of their fucking way. They were just always trying to find a way to fuck with somebody. You know, coming from America, I stuck out like a sore thumb. And peeing on that tree didn't help. Every morning we'd wake up, generator comes on, and so like everybody's like hustling and bustling to get to class. You got to fetch your water, you got to get your uniform together, you got to iron it if there's time to iron it if you care about that kind of thing. You got to get to dining hall to eat breakfast and go to class. And then you're trying to get your chores done, but then older kids are also like, hey, do my chores too. Oh yeah, I see you going to fetch water. Take this bucket with you. Now you got to fill 2 buckets of water. You got to wait in line. That's annoying because one, you don't want to do it, but also it makes you late to class. One time I was late to class and I got suspended. It's like that's how it was that serious. So you're just trying to like lay low to not have some senior come and like add something to your plate. And I remember my younger brother, when he would wake up, the janitor would come on and he wouldn't go fetch water actually. He would go somewhere, he would wander off somewhere else.
Interesting.
And I was like, where is he going? What's he doing? And so one morning I decided to follow him. And he's walking to this classroom, to a room full of kids, and they're praying. Hands waving, just like, oh God, I thank you for waking us up this morning. You didn't have to do it, but you did. And, you know, people are singing, on your Mary, Jesus, on your Mary, Jesus, on your Mary, Nani Gigechi. People are like, oh, Gechine, can you come? Oh, Geye, come, oh, Gechine, can you come? Oh, Geye. Like, it's not in unison. Like, everybody's doing their own thing. Something new in my life. Something wonderful in my life. Something positive in my life. Oh, Lord. And they were just going in, praise and worship. Praise and worship.
Good way to start your morning.
Yeah, it's a great way to start your morning. It's the opposite of what was going on. And then eventually it kind of comes together, like it kind of gets to a cacophony, and then one guy will kind of break it, like, okay, God, we are here today. And you know, he will kind of just lead the prayer. I later on came to know these kids were the Holy Holies. Like nobody messed with the Holy Holies. They were like, no, leave them alone. God is going to strike you. And so it was like, oh, wait, there's some benefits of hanging out with this group. So if I go over here, I can just like have a regular chill morning and nobody's going to bother me. That was a really big motivation to keep going to morning prayer.
This was a smart decision.
Yeah, this is a survival decision.
We'll be back in a quick second. Stay tuned. You're listening to Mind Your Own. Let's get back into it.
It started out like, okay, this is how I avoid bullies, but it really became something genuine for me. During that time. I just showed up and kept doing that, and I guess in going through the motions per se, I became really devout. I carried the Bible with me all the time, and that's what I would, when I would finish my studies, I'd be reading my Bible and highlighting shit. And I stopped listening to hip hop. I loved hip hop, and I stopped listening because I was like, oh man, these are demonic messages. We can't be doing this. Thong song was huge, and there was a big thing about like if you play thong song backwards, there's some kind of like satanic message in it. And so I would spread that gospel. I would tell people like, no man, don't listen to thong song. You ain't heard about.
That's a great warrior for Jesus.
I'm preaching the gospel of the evils of thong song, and I go from there to becoming part of the Catholic executives. I was running with the Holy Holies, and now I'm showing the Holy Holies how to run. Catholic executives, they ran the church activities on campus. And I was the president because I showed up so much.
The name Catholic executive is just great. Like, I love that. Put that on your resume.
Basically, we were the ones in charge of mass, like choir rehearsal, do that. Bible study is a couple times a week, and so we lead Bible study. And one of the duties, you got to preach on Sunday. Every Sunday, you got to preach. That was kind of intimidating. I was like, oh, I've never done that before.
You were chosen.
Yeah.
The burning bush came to you. Okay, so what did you pick to preach about?
One of my first sermons actually was, I was like, what am I going to talk about? And, it happens at Bible study. So we already have mass in the morning on Sunday. This is the evening time. It's right before sunset. We're in the dining hall, just one big hall, and these wooden tables with these benches with no backs on the sides of the tables, and the kids are sitting there. They're looking at me, and it's like, all right, I got to deliver something. I don't know what it is, and I'd been prepping a little bit, right? Like I didn't just go in blank. I was thinking, well, shit, back in America, what would WWJD? What would Jesus do was really big.
Oh, yeah. I remember
this is big for you too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember when the WWJD bracelets came out.
The bracelets. Yes, yeah. So that was like...
the tie-dye t-shirts.
Yeah. So like my first sermon was, what would Jesus do? Okay. That was WWJD. Yeah, back in my old school in America, whenever we'd be faced with the crossroads or a decision, we'd ask ourselves, what would Jesus do? And I felt people perking up. You're mad about this exam, finals coming, and there's a lot of pressure. What would Jesus do? If somebody flogs you and you want to hit them back, what would Jesus do? You turn the other cheek. Flog me over in this side, sir. Somehow people resonated with it. It was like, it went from like just blank stares to slight head nods. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess there's something here. I don't know what this is, but there's something here that I'm just going to keep doing. You know what? It was, maybe I can do this. That's what it was. It was, maybe I can do this.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's kind of where you got like I can like perform in front of other people.
Yeah. Did
you notice a difference in how like you interacted with your community at boarding school after you started preaching?
I mean, I guess I had a little bit more clout, I really struggled to find my niche. And the Catholic executives, being part of them kind of felt like my niche. Preaching on Sundays, that was like, I guess I just became a regular thing. Like it was awkward at first, and I kind of just got the hang of it. But something in me felt comfortable doing that. But then I kind of hit a rough patch with it. This one guy who was part of Catholic executives, Edwin, he was real cool. He had sporting waves, you know what I'm saying? I always saw he had the way his khakis, we had like, khakis. But the way his khakis were pressed, you don't understand.
Yeah.
The sharp line, that was a swag in boarding school. Like you had your shit. If you had your shit ironed, shirt tucked in,
Edwin.
Yeah, belt, nigga was doing it. And so, so we had a little pool, you know what I'm saying? Girls was peeping and whatnot. So he was talking to Mary. She was brilliant, smart, always called on the top 5. So, it was like the smooth guy, the brilliant girl. They would like meet after class and they'd be talking and chit-chatting and whatnot. And this was like really like dangerous stuff. This is like...
Scandalous.
Yeah, scandalous. That's the word. Yeah, this tabloid material. The way it was split up was like guys and girls, like we do not interact.
Yeah.
It was very puritanical. It wasn't like that across Nigeria or even Igbo land. That was just like in FGC Nise in the late 90s, early 2000s. That was just the way it was. And since Edwin was part of the Catholic executives, it kind of came under me somehow. So enter Kaiso, who was another Catholic executive, and she was She was truly devout. She's like, when she would pray in group prayer, it wasn't even like we were in the room with her. She's like, we were like listening in on her private conversations with white baby Jesus, like, and we were just privileged to be there. It was so, she's almost like a prophet. You know, she would like always call out anything that was going wrong on campus anywhere. And so when Edwin was talking to Mary, she had words to say. Kaiso was really adamant about me kicking Edwin out. She was like, Odinaka, we have to kick him out. He cannot be here. You know, she had this very calm way of talking, but it's very serious. She's like, Odinaka, we must kick him out. He has to go. You know, like a cult leader talking to you?
Yeah, and you're just like...
I'm just like, shit. You know Matthew chapter 5? Whoever looks at a woman with lust in his eyes has already committed the sin of adultery. Already committed.
You had to memorize.
You know, like, in a way, I did take that stuff very serious at the time, but for some reason, this part just didn't quite land. Maybe I want to talk to girls, too. I want to be like Edwin. Maybe I'm like, like, damn, Edwin's doing it, man. I don't really see the big deal here. Kaiso, like, I mean, back from America, like, it was normal, guys and girls talking, you know what I'm saying? Give it a hug when they see each other, greet each other. Hug! Hug kwa? Chineke. So you think it's normal to embrace girls? Eh? This is the work of Satan. Odinaka, you are the president of the executives. You are not going to bring this ministry down with your demonic American ways. And so when I like didn't cave on that, she was like, you know, this is a problem.
Yeah.
She walked away, and I kind of had this feeling like, oh damn, this is not good. I might be cooked. And sure enough, the next Sunday she goes up to preach. She's like, I have found the money changers in the temple, and they came from America.
Oh my God.
It kind of felt like all eyes on me, like, you know, people, I felt the beams. But I really felt the beams the next Sunday when it was my turn to preach, and I got up there, and other kids, they left. They like walked out as I began to talk.
Damn.
That stung a little bit, you know? One, they'd rather risk flogging than listen to me talk. That's the thing. But also, they don't want to listen to me talk. Like, come on, man. Yeah, it's like bombing. It's like bombing as a comic, but bombing as a preacher. My place as a Catholic executive was never quite the same. The one place where I felt like I really found myself here, I lost it. As a performer now, I look back on that preacher kid and I see like the seeds of what I do now. I don't identify as a Christian anymore, but I still get up on stage and I talk to people. When I'm on stage, it just feels like this is where I'm supposed to be, and I can't really explain it. And then it's like, okay, well, what am I going to say now that I'm here?
Odinaka's experience reminds me of stories I heard in Kenya of kids who went to boarding school. They're so similar. So even though I didn't go to boarding school, I definitely know those stories. It was legend. That need for protection as a freshman student in high school, everybody I know who went to boarding school went through that. I would also say that there is something to be said about going to religious institutions. WWJD. Oh, we were not left behind in Kenya, by the way. I remember I had a WWJD bracelet. I had a few. And even in my school, the assembly, teachers would be talking about WWJD. And it became my conscience. I tried my best, but sometimes I didn't know what Jesus would do. Thank you, Odinaka, for sharing your story, and Stuti for joining us in the studio. Odinaka returned to the U.S. after high school, where he built a comedy career. Odinaka and Stuti are working on a new podcast called That's What's Up. To find it, check out our show notes. Thanks for listening. It's been good to have you. And I really enjoyed going with you to Nigeria. We ironed our best khakis, stepped up to the pulpit, only to find out that the money changers in the temple, they are us. See you the next time you mind your own. Until then, Here's a song from the continent, Blessed, by Kiddo CSA, featuring Black Bones.
Two places to be stressed. Oh yeah, in my back. Two places to be stressed. Oh yeah, in my back. I'm two places to be stressed.
Mind Your Own is hosted and produced by me, Lupita Nyong'o. This is a production of Snap Studios at KQED, with sales and distribution by Lemonada Media. The executive producers are Glenn Washington and Mark Ristich. Our managing editor is Regina Bediaco. Our director of production is Marissa Dodge. Original music in my story, The Black Ties, was by Cheflee. The story, The Holy Holies, was written by Odinaka Ezeokoli and produced by John Facile. Original music by Ehiorobo. Our Mind Your Own producers are David Exame and Priscilla Alabi. Our story scouts are Ashley Okwosa, Fiona Nyong'o, Jessica Carissa, and Lesedi Olukomoche. Our editors are Nancy Lopez and Anna Sussman. Our story consultant is John Facile. Engineering by Miles Lassie. Our music supervisor is Sandra Lawson Ndu, also known as Sandu Ndu. She also created the Mind Your Own theme song with Peach Curls, featuring vocals from Ehiorobo. Graphic design by Jemima Eke. Original artwork by Mateusz Sitole. Special thanks to Alan Coy, Jake Kleinberg, Samara Still, Sarah Yu, Warner Music Group, and Afropods. Make sure to follow Mind Your Own and listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's even more to love with Lemonada Premium. Subscribers get exclusive access to bonus content from across the network for only $4.99 a month. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts. Now, go out, get together, and mind your own rules.